So today is 17th of August. We started from the weekly to analyze this chart because at the beginning of every day, we always analyze the weekly. At the beginning of every week, you analyze the weekly candle. And at the beginning of every month, you analyze the monthly candle. At the beginning of every day, you analyze the daily candle. So coming to the weekly candle, this was the day, August 17th. What happened here was, this was the previous week. We took out the previous week in the London time. So after analyzing the weekly candle we showed you, we just mark out the weekly high. That's the first thing we did. And we also have an open close level here on the weekly, which price can still retest to. And this level is around 1.349. That's the level. So coming to the daily, we had this was on Friday. This daily high is the weekly high. This daily high is a weekly high. So we also have a level here. Let's go to this is also a level here. This was a resistance level that might flip to a support level for more upward movements. So let's click on this. I mark it blue. I mark blue lines for daily zones, and I mark this pink line for mark this kind of lines for weekly zones. So this is a daily. So price might come here sometime to 1.3507. You might revisit that zone for more upside movements. These are the two levels I'm watching currently. This weekly high, this weekly zone, and this daily zone is also, we can also mark this daily support here. The price might also hit that, but the price might come here or here. So at the beginning of every week and at the beginning of every day, you always mark out your higher time frame zones to guide you on what will happen to price in the future. So moving down the drain, let's go to the let's go back to our. So you see, we just clean the charts with the line chart. So coming to the daily, you can see that what we have was, there was no news today, so there was no news on August 17th. We only had a news from Canada, which is CPI. But that was not the main. We don't need that for our analysis. So going to we are seeing all these, the candles are, there's no volatility here, so we need to go to the 5 minutes and there's little or no volatility. So what happened at 7 o'clock? At 7 o'clock, we always check what happened at 7 o'clock, because that's where we make our entries. At 7 o'clock, we had this first touch of an amplitude structure. This should contribute to second touch of. So we are looking for a second touch of line around here, but we see you are expecting this trend line. So what happened here at 7 o'clock? Those right at 7 o'clock, we had a very huge pull, taking out this high, taking out this liquidity. So we are looking for an entry. We're looking for a valid entry at 7 o'clock. So we're looking at an entry around this region, around this resistance level, actually to support. So we took our first entry here. We took our first entry, our first ever entry. We took it here, targeting this weekly high. It has stop loss around 3. So 3 pips stop loss. So that was the first entry. We also had another entry just right before our stop loss will be taken in case they want to take out this low. So we also account out for that. We took another entry here. So we took 2 entries. This one was targeting this high, 6 pips stop loss and 2 pips. 1 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6. So these are the 2 entries. So in case this one fails, we have protection here, going here. So here we want 3R. We want 3R over here. So when they took out this liquidity, we had an opportunity to make another entry. You know, I told you that anytime they take out liquidity, it's always a time for you to re-enter. It's very important that you always re-enter anytime a liquidity zone is taken out, because this guides your trading strategy, because losses are part of this game. So when you see an opportunity to make money, you capitalize on it. You always capitalize on it. So what happened here? They broke structure, took out this liquidity. So we are just patiently waiting for another entry. Maybe that liquidity was taken out. We are patiently waiting for another. All these levels are just too close. So what do? There was a breaker block here. So you mark your breaker block lines. There's always opportunity for, anytime you see opportunity for an entry, please take it. This week, at the close of this week, you see this week low, that was where I took my entry, my next entry. Those weeks are always, I didn't want to take an entry here because it was too, I can stop price, but it looks like I took my entry around there. So there's a breaker block here. Yeah, I took my entry around here. This is where I took my entry. So I also went for 1:2, 2:60 here. 2 pips stop loss. So like, I was almost taken out by this. I was almost taken out here. You see that the price almost took me out. If it's like gold, I would have been taken out because the pip count. So I took like 2.126. So when I saw this move, even if I was taken out by this candle, I would have re-entered, because I knew I was almost taken out, but I was not taken out. I was just looking. But even if I was taken out, I would have re-entered. Why would I have re-entered? I would know that this was just a liquidity hunt. And you can see this bullish engulfing candle just right after they almost take me out. So I would have just re-entered again, right at this same level again. I would have re-entered. That's why it's not good to take direct entries. Direct entries can just take you off. You have to be ready to re-enter your trade whenever you've made an entry. Always ready to re-enter that trade, because you have to win in this market. There is no two ways about it. You just have to win. So we won 3R here, 3R here. That's 6R already. So the market started making some higher highs and higher lows here. So we marked you saw another trend line the market was making. We thought that, okay, this market wants to go, this is not breakthrough. This is a weak low. We wouldn't know that this is a weak low. We thought that, okay, they're going to go all the way to 1.3575. So when this market made this move, came down here, we didn't take any entries because the market was so volatile. Or it looks like the market made this pull over here. We would have taken another entry here, but we did not take that entry. You can see that some people try to sell at this region. So we marked, there is a strong order block here. They try to sell at this region, at this weekly line, and that's why we always draw this kind of zone. This is a weekly zone. They tried to sell, but there was a strong order block here that took price all the way. So we were expecting price to retest this same level. That's why we had 2 entries here, or just 1 entry, because the distance between the sentences was not that much. So we just took just 1 entry. 9 pips stop loss again, and 3 pips targets. So the market, let me see, keep an entry somewhere here. The market did not even trigger us. The market triggered us nicely, went all the way to that side, but this was another re-entry. But the problem with all these re-entries is that the pip counts are just too low. There was another re-entry around here also, if you have seen that, because we were thinking that, okay, this level is going to bring price to the downside, but they breached that level. So this is another re-entry zone. Other re-entry zone targeting this level. This is another opportunity to make more money. So this was really a competitive edge. So we took an entry here. We thought that this level is going to reverse price all the way to the downside, but once they broke it with a body closure, we took another entry targeting this level. But we thought the market was highly bullish, just like the previous days. But today was a different day because we took another 3 hours here. So we won 3 hours, 3 hours. This was 9 hours already. We lost 1 hour here. 1, 2, 3. This is our first loss. Our first loss was here because the market actually reversed on us. When you reach here, it turned around and reversed on us. So we took a loss at this level. So it was 1 hour loss. After taking an entry here, we couldn't target here because it was too close. So we just wanted to target the level up, which is our next institutional line. But we were taking out. Also, we saw this trend line, we saw this liquidity zone over here. We thought that okay, market is still highly bullish. They might reject from this support line and move off. You see, they tried to buy there. It was a very steep crash. So when I came here, I saw something. I saw how they hit the line first, then they closed below the line. When they closed below the line, we took another entry. We took an entry targeting this exit liquidity. So I took another short because I thought the market is going to react from there. It looks like, so I took another short targeting this liquidity. I went for 1:6. I always like going for 1:6. So that's 2.22 or 23 pips stop loss and 6 pips target. So I went for this immediately. I took my short immediately. Then I saw this close. I took a short, targeting this liquidity. So that's another 3 hours. Let's just approximate it to 3 hours. So we lost 1 hour and we made 3 hours. So what happened now? What happened next was the market started to have a series of consolidation. It moved up here. We made this upward movement. We thought that okay, a series of upward movement here. Just keep making higher highs and higher lows over here. So we thought that okay, they will hit this level and take buys all the way to this level. But it never happened. It crashed. Try to take another entry around there because we are seeing how the market was making a series of higher and higher lows. We try to take another entry targeting this level. And if possible, targeting this level also. So this market was actually a losing day, targeting this level, going for 1:5. Oh my god. So we tried to take these 2 entries. The market actually triggered us in. Came down again, took us out over here. So we tried, when we saw this series of upward movements, we tried to take an entry at this support level, targeting this level, but they took us out. But they triggered us in on 2 entries, so I lost another 1 hour here. When they took us out, I was waiting for this support again. I was waiting for this support zone. So when they took us out and when I made all this move to the upside, I placed another entry here. But the market was still bullish. Why am I taking all these entries? Because this market is still bullish. They've not taken out this low. So when they goes below this low, I would know that the market is. So when they took us out, came down again, we placed another entry, targeting the same high. So we increased our stop loss to like 1:64. Took an entry at this support zone. The market is really consolidating at this level. Made highs like this. We reached, instead of going close to this level, reached somewhere here and crashed back to this level. After taking this loss, I tried to take some entries here, but then this market started making a series of lower lows and lower highs over here. I can see it from this triangle. So today was really a difficult day to trade. So I thought they were going to make a new low here. But what happened? The miracle happened there. What happened there was they broke structure. That shows that, okay, they are intentful to come here. You see that break of structure? That shows that they are intentful to come here. So we couldn't take any. We know that this market is consolidated, so we took another entry here. They broke structure, so it means that they are still intentful. But this was our target because the market was really consolidating. So we tried to take 10 pip stops, 10 pips, just targeting these highs. 1:3 again. So we took this entry here. So while going, so we've lost here. And we also lost this one because the market did not actually reach this level. Before that level, so we lost multiple hours here. Looks like we've lost around 3 hours already. I'm making close to 10 hours so far. So we won this trade because this market was making a series of higher highs and higher lows, trying to bridge to this down. But this break of structure shows that, okay, they are really intentful to go to the upside. Also remember that I tried to take some buys around this other block that's close to this breaker block, this breaker line. So I tried to take some buys targeting this high. I was taking out also, but I always have a backup. I thought I always have a backup every time I take a buy because this market you never can know what to work, and if you keep waiting for what to work, you might miss a lot of juicy entries. So it's better you take multiple losses. I'm just 0.5% per risk, so it's better you take multiple losses than missing entries. So I took another backup buy. So we came here, we actually took out this high, came down low. So we came again. So during at 14 o'clock, we just close to 14 o'clock, we took out this high. So we thought that, okay, we are going to keep going up. But instead, they came and cleared all these liquidities to the downside. Cleared everybody over here. Made a new high. This was actually, we didn't believe this buy because if you go to the 5 minutes on that buy, you will see that the 5 minutes was like a fake out. If you go to the 5 minutes on that 14 o'clock, you see that this was 14 o'clock. You see that this was this was not body closures. It was this one that was body. So this one we tried to take another buy after we started seeing, okay, body closures, seeing that they want to go all the way to this level. But when we see these body closures, it's an intent that shows that, okay, there are a lot of buyers in this trade. Always have a backup trade each time you are placing a trade. It's very important. Like, you look at what happened here. What happened here was, look, I tried to take some buys around this other block close to this week. It actually worked out. They came up instead of going. Just look at it, instead of going to this level, because that was where my TP was. My TP was around here, around this level. So instead of going to this level, what these guys did was, this was how my stop was. What this guy did was they came and they took us out completely. They got close to the level. They got come here, close to this weekly level. They took us out. But we had another entry at this level. But why I took this entry was because I was thinking that there's no business suppliers coming here. You just hit here and go here in me. But instead it came here. So we had another entry here, which a huge stop loss. So always have backup buy. So what happened here? Once we came here, we saw that, okay, they're looking for the other block, the micro block that block structure here. So I saw this breaker block, another block somewhere here. So I decided to say, let me take some buys around here also. I actually took the worst part of it is that I took 2 entries here. So that's why I said today I would have came out a net loss, if not I took 2 entries here. So you have to be very you can never be too careful. That's the worst part of it. So one is to trade again. I took an entry here, going for this, and I took another entry because this was New York time, 15 o'clock, where there's a lot of money in this market. So this was New York time. Today was a typical consolidation day, 15 pips. first base. So I think these two entries again, as when I saw they've broken these structures, I was thinking that they will come here and go up here. So I knew that this market was forming a kind of, they will come here. I knew that they might come and retest this. I knew they will come and retest. So when I took these two entries, they actually took me out. So what happened here was, immediately I saw this, I was thinking they would take it. Immediately I saw this body closure here, I knew that there is a problem. They took me out here, so I knew there was a problem. What did I do? Even though I knew I was on a buy here, I took a short. Tell you how I took a short around the same order block, targeting this liquidity. So multiple entries. This is I took a short here, targeting this liquidity, because I saw that okay, these guys are not ready. Even though I was still on a buy, I was thinking this would still fail, but I was still on a buy. This order I did not close it. I was just like, let it go. I would have closed it if I want. But when I saw they breach this level and close below it, I said no, it's time to take it slow, targeting this low. When this is the market structure. So this is high, low, high, low. So they just keep targeting these swing lows. So I had another entry at this extreme swing low also. Even though I've taken a loss, I still had another entry. But I know this is New York. As far as they've not taken this low, we are still bullish. So I took another entry here. Where today was just multiple entries, just like we are fighting the market. So I took another entry, targeting this fair value gap zone. And I had another one also. This one, they finally took me out here. I had another entry also. I had double entry. Why am I always taking double entries during this New York time? So that after first, because this is where a lot of money comes into the market. So I expect that, okay, there's a lot of money here. So why are we... You understand? So I was expecting them to take out these highs and take out all the highs and go all the way to this level. So I had like when we said 21, I was like expecting them to make a very huge massive move all the way to this level. You understand? But I still took my exit around here, just around between these two rows, around this high. So 18 pip stop was at 6 started. So I was like, okay, let's go. We are going to be going to this yesterday, because this is, anytime it comes to New York, I always like taking multiple, because New York is where there's a lot of money in the market. But when I start seeing all this manipulation, what happened here? When I saw this, they took me on the profit here, and there was forming series of highs and higher lows here. What happened? It broke structure. It started breaking. When I started seeing this, and I knew that the market they finally took me out, and I just let it go. I didn't even take entries. I was trying to look for entries around here, around 18 o'clock. I saw that the sellers have taken over. Thank you.